Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Dallas Daily Show podcast, coming at you from the Neighborhood Loan Studio here in St. Louis, Missouri. Today's topic, my friends, farting on a treadmill. Oh, okay. Let's get into the conversation. Okay, I know the topic sounds strange, farting on a treadmill, but I'm just going to ask you, have you ever done it? Have you ever been running and you're like, oh, I've got a little gas buildup, or have you, God forbid, ever been by somebody who was on a treadmill and they farted and you were on the treadmill beside them? Yeah, this occurred not long ago, okay? And I am on the treadmill and I start laughing. No pun intended here. I start laughing my butt off because here's why. I don't even know that this should be an episode, Taylor, but it gave me an interesting insight, okay? The fart kind of stunk, okay? But you're on a pretty good clip. You're like running at a pretty good pace. And then this wafting smell begins to occur and you're like, what the heck? And I know some of you right now are like, I can't believe he's covering this. Well, folks, we're 150 some odd episodes into this pod. We were going to have to cover farts at some point. Taylor's over here shaking her head being like, I can't believe I'm listening to this. Here's the deal. That presents a problem when you fart on a treadmill because it doesn't matter how fast you run, you're not actually getting away from the smell. You see where I'm going with this already? This is why it hit me. I was like, oh, this is an interesting topic because sometimes things don't stink. And even though we've got a lot of, or things in our lives do stink, quote unquote, and even though we've got a lot of movement and a lot of momentum, we're not actually getting away from the problem. That's like it farting on a treadmill, okay? That's the weird thought behind this whole thing is sometimes stuff is happening in your life and you're just like, yeah, I'm not getting away from this problem. It's because you continue to run in place. You're not actually moving forward in your life. You've been on the same hamster wheel with the same stinky problems over and over and over again. We talk about this a lot inside of our MindSHIFT calls, this concept or this idea that old triggers, old beliefs, old behaviors keep you in old cycles. And you're just on this hamster wheel of not really getting progress. And people say, well, I just need to shift my mindset. And you're like, yeah, but you're also just kind of running in place with your fart. That's kind of what's happening. Instead of actually moving forward toward a future version of yourself that you ultimately want to become, you're just keep running in the same old stink over and over and over again. So as weird as this conversation is today, and as weird as it is to think about either you farting on a treadmill or the neighbor beside you farting on a treadmill, which, by the way, I'll just say both have occurred in my life. But the last one was me. I farted on the treadmill, and I was like, I can't get away from this. And I'm running in place in the gym, and I am dying laughing. And granted, I had headphones in my ears as I was going, and I'm sure somebody thought I was listening to a funny podcast or something. And that was not why I was laughing at all. I am laughing I'm going, oh my goodness, this has to be a podcast episode. Way too many Brussels sprouts the night before, and I cannot get away from my own stink. But then I start laughing going, oh my gosh, this is such a life lesson because there have been so many times I've been running in place and I've not been able to move away from the crap I'm creating. And it was because I wasn't actually outside running toward a vision of something else. I had created a cycle of negative repetition in my life. What about you? Are there negative cycles of repetition that you're just on the treadmill when what you should be doing is you should be aiming toward a future you that you want in your life? Tomorrow on the MindSHIFT call, we're going to talk about this idea of creating clarity around the dream you have for your life and the vision you want to run toward. It's about getting off of that treadmill and getting away from that stink and running toward a future you that actually entices you to become a better version of you. Clean air and all. So where in your life, my friend, have you been farting on a treadmill? Just think about it. Where are you like, man, I'm just running in place in my own crap? It's an interesting thought. maybe what it's time to do is step away from the cycle, get a vision of where you actually want to go in your life, and move forward toward a future that's brighter and sure as heck smells a lot better. So that's all I got for you today to think about, buddy. Get off the treadmill, get away from your crap, aim toward a future, and start running in a direction. That's what I want you to think about. That's it. That's all I got for you. Go out there, don't fart on a treadmill anymore, and have a championship day.
Thanks for listening to my dad's podcast. For more tools, go to dallasdailyshow.com. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Thank you.